Al Jazeera Podcasts.
I'm David Enders, and this is The Take. As Israel's war on Gaza continues, we're coming to you on Sundays with a weekly roundup. This week, 116 days into a ceasefire, Israel has killed at least 481 Palestinians in Gaza. Redevelopment plans for the Gaza Strip were met with skepticism by people there. Palestinians also questioned whether Israel intends to follow through with the next phase of the U.S.-brokered ceasefire plan in Gaza. Today is Sunday, January 25. Israel has killed more than 71,654 Palestinians in Gaza since October 7, 2023. On Thursday in Davos, Switzerland, U.S. President Donald Trump formally inaugurated his so-called Board of Peace. One of its members is Trump's son-in-law, the U.S. real estate developer Jared Kushner, who outlined the group's plans for redeveloping Gaza, including glittering skyscrapers, highways, and industrial parks. But amidst the rubble in Gaza City on Friday, Al Jazeera's Hind found Palestinians there were skeptical of the promises being made.
The photos of New Gaza have been circulating online since Jared Kushner announced this new master plan in New Gaza. According to Trump's plan, this area is going to be tourism facilities, highways, transportation to the Palestinians. But what we also need to know is this area is all lands of Palestinians, where these are their houses. These are their belongings. And according to Palestinians, they're saying that this is another way of how they're going to be deprived from their houses. Talking to Palestinians, according to them, this plan is totally unacceptable because it's going to force this reconstruction New Gaza plan on them, where they do not want to be forced or even deprived from their land and their housing. This is one of the examples where this Palestinian family started reconstructing their home despite the fact that the Israeli authorities did not let any construction materials inside the Gaza Strip since the ceasefire started. And another thing we need to know is, for example, here, where we're standing, is here on the map in the northern Gaza Strip, and it doesn't even exist where this area is going to be industrial. All of these thousands of Palestinians who are waiting to come back to their houses and to start rebuilding will be deprived from this. There's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, but what we need to know is Palestinians definitely want to rebuild their houses the way they want to rebuild them.
The announcement of the Board of Peace comes as Trump has also insisted that Phase 2 of his Gaza peace plan be put into effect in spite of continued Israeli violations. The board also lacks a Palestinian representative, and as Al Jazeera's Nida Ibrahim reported from the occupied West Bank on Wednesday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu only announced his participation the day before Trump formally launched the group. Phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire plan calls for Israel to remove its troops from areas inside the so-called Yellow Line, which currently gives it military control of more than half of Gaza.
In fact, if we see what Israel is doing inside the Gaza Strip, it's actually taking more lands from Gaza, inching closer into Gaza's territory on the other side of the Yellow Line. So if that signals anything, it signals Israelis' intention not to withdraw from Gaza. Remember, we're talking about an Israeli election year this year, so everyone in the Israeli politics is trying to show more defiance, is trying to show more strength. And how do they do that? By cracking down more and more on Palestinians. As far as Palestinians are concerned, they think that Netanyahu's interest in this phase is to get a vow or get some implementation on the disarmament of Hamas. This is something that is tricky, that Hamas has said it's willing to hand some of its weapons to the Palestinian Authority, but it's still a very contentious point. But the key point really is the Israeli withdrawal from the Gaza Strip, which is something that the Israelis are not intending to do. But can Netanyahu say no bluntly to Trump? We don't think so, and that's why he's accepting this membership. Whether he's going to fulfill the duties that were presented by the Trump's peace plan, that's yet to be seen, but there's a lot of skepticism here.
And that's The Take for Sunday, January 25. Please join us again tomorrow. This episode was produced by me, David Enders. Our sound designer is Alex Roldan. Alexandra Locke is The Take's executive producer, and Ney Alvarez is Al Jazeera's head of audio.